Okay, let's start. I will let the new participants come in as they arrive. So for those who don't know me, I'm Claire from OE Wines. We are a mission-driven company and we offer a range of organic French wines. We are developing in the US market and reducing our carbon footprint. It's really at the center of what we do. So that's why we're very interested into the topic of bottle reuse in the US, especially when it comes to export. We are constantly looking for ways of reducing our environmental impact. So today I am with Adam and Melissa, two industry experts about bottle reuse. So if you want to introduce yourself, please.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. I'm Adam Rack. I'm one of the co-founders of Ravino. We are a startup of 3 years now on the West Coast, based in Portland, Oregon, the Willamette Valley. And we are exclusively focused on expanding bottle reuse and bringing it back to the United States.
Hi, my name is Melissa Saunders, and I'm the founder of Communal Brands, which is a producer, importer, and distributor based in New York City. We are very much focused on what I like to refer to as eco-conscious wines, which take into consideration everything from the vine all the way to the packaging and its end of life. We've specifically been very much focused on elevating the perception of bag-in-box, which is the packaging type with the lowest carbon footprint, as well as creating a circular economy for the wine bottle glass, because the glass bottle, when it's reused, is the best option because it's literally no waste.
So if we want to reduce our impact in wine, we must have an action on the packaging.
Some of the most recent data is around 82% of people polled. I think it was around 8,000, so it was a very good polling set. Some of the most recent data is around 82% of people polled. I think it was around 8,000, so it was a very good polling set. Are willing to pay more.
And one thing that I'm observing again and again and again is just that, you know, the traditional market for wine, that segment of consumers is actually shrinking. And though this has led to, dips in sales overall, and sometimes a little bit of a grim spirit among my peers in the industry, I think the really important bright side that we need to focus on is that there is an entirely new generation of consumers that I think could be more interested in wine, were there to be more transparent and authentic communication that they can relate to. But more importantly for this discussion, this segment of consumers is absolutely engaged and attracted to legitimate, authentic sustainability credentials. And as Claire pointed out, given that the packaging is such a huge piece to this puzzle in terms of having impact, I am absolutely finding that when you communicate this piece to the story to a younger base of consumers, that they are highly engaged and very much interested in considering wine from a totally new perspective and with packaging credentials that can have an impact.
We are part of a reusable bottle scheme here in France, and we are also doing it with Melissa in New York.
There's not a whole lot that needs to change in our model. So from bottle manufacturing to the filling and sending out to customers, almost everything is the same. We do have different specifications when it comes to labels, just like the other partners here. Getting the labels off is the biggest concern in the washing process. But for the most part, everything through the sale of the bottle is the same. But we step in as the operator, sort of bringing everybody into the tent to build this system together. So we have 3 different routes for bottles to come back to us here in Oregon, or as we expand in the United States. And the first one is really that on the ground winery engaged level. And that's where at a tasting room, at a event venue or restaurant that's actually owned by a winery or a participating partner, you're pouring on site. So right away, anything you're pouring for samples or pouring in your restaurant, you can collect back, pop it right back in the box, bring it right out to the winery, store it, and we'll come pick it up in our network or some of our collaborators in other markets, like down in Napa. The second stream, well, actually, back on the first one, some other benefits that come here is that consumer engagement. So it's getting your club members to come back in the door, that foot traffic. Any additional thing we can compete, get that excitement, get that face-to-face time with our staff. That's really important in a time that's super competitive, where people can go buy things at a grocery store. Why would they want to come to you? Well, come engage, come hang out with our people, come to an event, bring your bottles back.
To do that effectively, it does involve quite a bit of training in the waste management space. We are so accustomed, we just being humans, to a disposable, convenience-based society. And this idea of actually holding on to what was traditionally viewed as waste is not only a big initial mindset shift, but it also does require massive changes in behavior, but on site, in terms of how whomever it is that's handling this waste actually handles this type of packaging that is not actually waste. So I've found that it's actually not one, not two, sometimes three or more trainings that have to be implemented in order to really educate around how to do this effectively. So the idea is for the bottles to stay here and to ultimately ship the wine in bulk so that the wine could be filled in the bottles that are actually already here. So there wouldn't be an intention to ship those bottles back, but once the bottles end up here, we would be refilling them here. And that's the goal. And I do have some experience transporting wine in bulk for various reasons. And though it's not ideal, we're not looking for ideal, we're just looking for best practices in this space to continue to move things forward in a productive way.
What's your next challenge, Melissa and Adam?
Well, for me, honestly, my next priority, which will also no doubt be a challenge, but an exciting one, is to actually close the loop and fill these bottles.
I'd say we have two challenges that are coming up. Our most immediate one is equipment, washer equipment. Our official bottle washer is sitting in Oregon in our facility, and we are getting that set up and tested and run in the next few months. So that's very exciting, but that's shorter term. That's really just part of the solution we're building today. But the larger one is really understanding the impact that new policies are having on why someone might engage with us here in the US, because things are changing very rapidly.